Welcome to Hangman Tarot. We are going to get started here in just a second. I want you to please hit subscribe, always and forever, at Hangman Tarot. My name is Jordan. It is nice to meet you if you're just joining me. We are going to get into our celebrity tarot reading with Cooper Noriega. I'm going to give that a good guess because I'm not quite sure. There was a passing. I was just told about this, and I really felt like compelled to do the reading because this is very connected to some of the readings that I have actually done with Vanessa and Josh thing, Maddie, and whomever else is in that situation or that group. I can't remember, but I believe that he was a close friend or some sort of a friend in this situation. Either or, I do want to I guess just let everybody know that this is for comfort. This is not to be creepy or slander. This is something that I do pretty gently, and it has worked out before. And I just felt really compelled to do it this time also. I don't get on here with celebrity passings unless I feel compelled to, and I just for some reason did. I know it is a really young person, and it's devastating, and I have all sorts of intuition on it, and I don't know why. Ugh. Okay, so Cooper is Nessa's best friend. Okay, so that makes so much sense. Thanks, Nicole, for being here. I'm super glad that you're here because you're very helpful. I do want to find out a lot of things going on. I have a lot of intuition when it comes to this. I've got goosebumps all over my arms and all over. Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, let me go over what is going on because I don't really even know kind of the scoop of it. I am going to be basing this off People magazine. Just what a shame. This is a shame. My condolences go out to the family, the friends. I am going to get into this. This is what I do for my job. This is, I'm creating self-employment by doing tarot, and this is a part of it. And I feel like if you just have issues with it, please just exit. Otherwise, please stay. TikTok star Cooper has passed away. He was only 19 years old. He was pronounced dead at the scene in Burbank parking lot on Thursday evening. In LA, medical examiner coroner spokesperson tells People his cause of death has been deferred, which means that after an autopsy, a cause of death has not been determined. So even after the autopsy, they're requesting more to investigate. Okay, so once the test studies come back, the doctor will evaluate the case again and will make the cause of death determination. It's just devastating. I can't even imagine. Shortly after his death, though, he posted a video on TikTok where he has like 1.7 million followers, very loved individual. And he left a caption, "Who else be thinking they're going to die young as fuck?" And 4 days later, before his death, he announced on social media that he was creating a Discord server dedicated to discussing mental health, which he invited his followers to join. I'm not going to get more into this because I already have a little intuition on the mental health thing. I was looking at his eyes, and that's actually, I don't know a thing about this boy, but when I see mental health, I can see it in the eyes. I can see whatever's going on as far as like a mental disorder. A lot of times it's just for some reason when I'm looking at the eyes, I can tell. Is it something that I know for sure which one, yada, yada, yada? No, not specific, but we're going to find out through tarot reading a little bit more here. Okay. I know, and it's funny because the soul knows before it releases back, into wherever we release back into. But the soul, I'm told, people tell me this, or I read this, that we know. We will eventually know. I had a friend who passed away, and right before she passed away, she said to me, because I had a friend who had died already in a car accident, and I was leaving to go check on, his family, and she said, she was letting me borrow her car. She said, it's just a passing and time will heal. It's just your friend, it'll be fine. And then the next day she was actually murdered by her boyfriend, husband. I don't even remember. Oh my gosh, you bet. Yeah. And I mean, I'm going to just lay it out there. Whatever cards come out, they come out. I am going to get into just kind of currently about him. through this oracle reading, and then we will get more specific detailing, getting more of the information as far as getting into this tarot reading. Well, I'm glad that he was, I mean, that's just what he was doing. And I'm sorry, as far as I can see though, like if he was alive or in passing, I really think he would have had an effect on people. I think not only has he had an effect, but I really think that even in this passing that this gentleman is going to affect a lot of people's lives in a really good way too. I mean, at first it's like, you know, again, it's that hanged man in reverse. You do not want to stop in this lobby. You don't want to take a seat at the, you know, sit there and wait and try to feel out what's the next step here. But like, that's where everybody will be, unfortunately. I'm so glad you guys came in. I feel so loved. Like, I know there's only 6 people here, but you have no idea how much warmer it got. So much better. Okay, I am going to get into this oracle reading. I do want to find out what was going on as far as current energy right before the passing or the inevitable. Just kind of like anything that he couldn't stop, anything that couldn't stop, because this is where we were at with, and this is where he was at, and this was the moment, and this is just what it was. Unfortunately, I want to find out what was going on. So we're just going to find out just a little bit right before. He had very, very, very low confidence. So the confidence is lacking quite a bit in that energy. So just the fire in general, any kind of fire, any kind of passion, willpower, inspiration, that was really, really low, like right beforehand. This is currently, and when I'm doing this currently, again, this can be like right before, but this, with this Moonstone card, I'm just getting mystery and intuition. He was an extremely intuitive person. Okay. So the fact that he knew, or the fact that he was writing things that made it seem like he knew what was going to happen, or, you know, he knew that his soul knew, he was aware, but he was very aware. He was very, his eyes were very open, like his third eye. I mean, this guy had a lot of intuition. He's very psychic, very empath. You bet, you know, I guarantee that they're all, you know, together. They're with each other, you know, family, you know, friends. I guarantee it. This is just such a fucking shame. Just too young. Okay. Yeah. So this is the source, the divinity, the enlightenment, right beforehand. It's just like the complete, I mean, divine, I mean, his soul, I mean, the enlightenment, the source. I mean, that is exactly where he was at. Low in that confidence. And that would just be in the physical stuff or like the human stuff. He was just very low in energy as far as that goes. I just feel like there was an instability here. He felt like there was like a meaningless, almost like no direction, and it felt very dangerous. And he's aware there's mystery here, though, and the intuition was impeccable. Like, he had really, really great avenues when it came to intuition or being empath. Like, I definitely believe that. We'll know way more here in just a second, but I'm like very, very saddened by that. It's like, it's just proving already, just even in the oracle reading, that he was very fucking rad. It's just something within his passing. I'm going to say this intuitively. I feel like his passing has a lot to do with changing something, for sure, especially for young people. I literally was just writing on Facebook how we need to treat our young people better, because they were teasing and making fun of this 20-year-old on Facebook. They had a mugshot of him. They're trying to catch where he made a crime or whatever. But that's not okay to laugh at him. That's not okay to make a joke. That's not okay to say he looks like this or he is this, or, you know, this kid's already given up because he's got a tattoo on his face. It's like, okay, so if he had a beer in his hand before 12 o'clock, it'd be okay. I'm like, shame on you. I'm like, that's somebody's child. That is somebody's child. Like, you can't just go around making fun of people. Like, it's insanity. And then he was like, explain to me why. And I said, because we need to treat our young people better. That's why. I mean, why the fuck wouldn't we? That's just my thoughts. I have a 19-year-old daughter, and I would find each and every one of those people on Facebook, and I would hunt them down. I would hunt you down. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He's very comforting for sure. And I mean, his energy was always golden. And no matter what, if you think about it, like, and just it's just me intuitively, I just feel like a lot of good energy was drawn around him. So even if you're in a bad mood, probably when he was around for some reason, the good vibes just, upped. I just feel like the negative energy would just go away. Okay, I feel like these cards are feeling like him now. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so currently I am going to confirm the oracle reading, and then we will just find out a little bit more about what was going on as far as right beforehand, the just kind of the event that could not be really stopped, or resisting. You can't. I mean, just things progress, and that's over. Okay, so at the time, there was definitely some sort of conflict. There was a conflict with others. It's being indicated with this Five of Wands in upright, okay? Some sort of change, but it brought about, again, confirming the oracle, the instability or that uncomfortable, that lack of confidence, lack of direction type of feeling, almost like a dangerous sense, or almost like a sliver of danger. I don't even know how to explain what that means, but I'm just saying what it's coming out, okay? There was definitely something about something competing. So there was something that was kind of like the energy of a competing goal, a competing event, something that he might have been doing that was kind of adding to the competition or to the pressure in which he already deals with. Okay. So definitely some conflict with some others, and the details or the information around the conflict or the chaos were very bothersome. This was something that was bothering him heavily. The World in reverse. Okay, that would make sense. Yeah. 8 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so that lack of self-confidence is being confirmed through just with the oracle reading the current energy. This is just confirming with 8 of Swords in reverse. It's just telling me that there was definitely some sort of confidence issue, and kind of like him moving forward in whatever it was that he was doing, putting any sort of like accomplishment, just wanting to feel that accomplishment kind of like went away. And it was like right beforehand. So whatever this was, he was afraid to kind of like take action, okay? Especially if it was something that he really wanted to do well. He really wanted to be good at this, and the path towards enlightenment, this is where he was headed. And again, this is in delay now because of the situation at hand. This is exactly what the fucking oracle reads. It's just like the opportunity wasn't there anymore, whatever that was. Could have had to do with like something that was his world that's in reverse. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what she is, but could be fire, air, something that might be dealing with that, like that sudden situation with the conflict. Could be the ex or whatnot. Could be just like a friend. Maybe there was some drama with. I mean, who knows? But let's find out kind of the frustration that was current at that very moment, please. Okay, so the emotional and material needs of himself were not met. That was a current frustration at that moment. A trustworthy relationship that was not complete, that could have been complete, but there was no completion. There was no communication between the two of them. And there was definitely something going on as far as, maybe even like an aggression, maybe intimidation, but just there was such confusion. Okay. Because he thought like, he would have been rewarded. He would have felt content. And for some reason, it's lacking that now because of whatever was going on with the situation, especially a relationship he thought he could trust. Okay. So this is going into a relationship. So the frustration, like right beforehand, or that he was kind of like frustrated with, that kind of like was pushing him in towards, whatever was the ending. This could be water sign. This could be pentacles or air. Yeah. So there's just almost like a knowing, like he knew that there would be unnecessary worry if he were to have paused and done the human thing, took a few weeks or a few months to get into a different place in that relationship or just in general. But this is something, it's like seeds were planted deeply with this, okay? But the reflection, if we were to look back on what was going on, it's almost like he couldn't move forward, not like in that human way, just like taking a minute, taking a breather, doing the hangman energy, taking a pause right before a change. That was not happening. The unnecessary worry was something that he couldn't bear. He couldn't bear that. It's just would have been a lot of worry, a lot of worry. And he knew that. He knew that. He definitely knew that. His feelings and emotions around the situation. He felt like for this situation, he felt like it wasn't fair, and it wasn't like, it didn't make any sense to him, and he felt like he was being judged within it, and he didn't feel like anybody was doing what was right, and that was standing up for how you believe. And he wanted to stand up for his beliefs. He wanted to stand in the presence of what he thought was right. That was a huge thing for him here, and he was super good at it. He was super good at it. He would fuck you up and let you know about all of the things that he thinks is right. In this specifically, emotionally, he had a lot of strength, and the strength between the relationship, or the trustworthy relationships that he had, it's almost like he was releasing all these judgments, and he was forgiving, and he had compassion, but he felt like there was nothing coming back. There was no communication about forgiveness or compassion towards him. So he was like, this isn't fucking fair. This is not fucking fair. This isn't fair. That's how he was feeling. This isn't fair. This isn't fair. Does that make sense? I don't know how to further than that, but I feel very upset about whatever the situation was, because fucking human relationships are terrible. They're terrible for the soul. And this person had a very good soul. Like, he wanted to do, he is just like, why am I not being forgave? Why am nobody showing me any light when I need it? What's going on? Type of vibe. If that makes sense, I don't know where that resonates. I'm just pulling the cards. I'm just letting you know. I don't know who he is. I don't know much about the situation in this aspect of things. I just know about the Nessa and her dramas. So this is a really difficult reading because I know nothing about him. All right, let's get into, let's find out what else we need to know here. Let's find out how they see things looking back. If he could look back, if he could like completely take a nice dose of reflection, just kind of like taking a moment to look at everything, just even now, like just turning his head and seeing everything for what it actually is. Three of Wands, three of Cups, reverse. This is indicating with that Three of Water in reverse, I feel like it's almost like he wishes he would have had more fun, or somebody would have had more fun. He wishes people, his friends, maybe somebody needs to have more fun, if that resonates. Somebody needs to make longer plans here, commit to something. Don't abandon anything here. And things look really good. Have patience and continue forward, moving forward. Constantly find balance, find some peace here. When he's reviewing and evaluating, it's almost like he feels like move into a different direction. That's a really good piece of advice. And this is assessment with his facts, with what he knows, with everything. He just wants people to have peace. He wants people to trust. He wants people to have a little more fun. And that's him just kind of looking back on the people that he loves. If he were to come back here and just say something about it. Let's find out what he wishes he could pay more attention to. What does he wish he could pay more attention to? Got the Ten of Pentacles, that's in reverse. He wishes that he would have focused more on his family. He wishes he would have had more fun. That's being indicated once again. And he's definitely feeling like he wishes that he could have been a little more kind of down to earth type, almost like shedding the skin, not being such a human and, you know, so worried about materials or the existence of all the fancy things. He wishes that he would have found renewal or some sort of balance in the tiny things, the really tiny details. Those are very important. And he just wasn't in that realization while he was here. And he might have found those moments in little bits and pieces, but he wished that's what these cards are indicating, that there was, yeah, he definitely, and when he's looking back, he's wishing that he could do more of just getting into that more professional, more responsible. He feels like he was generous, but he could have been more generous. Just he would have felt a little more secure financially. I don't know what that means. Of course, my electronics are messing up. Of course, my electronics are messing up right now. Like, why wouldn't they be? The lesson that they wish to leave behind here. Got the moon card, of course, darling, we do. He's hoping that his, this is so weird. He's hoping that the important psychic insights or what he left psychically, he hopes that that has a huge impact. So like the things that he was saying or the things that he was posting, those are super important. Those are psychic, like little, almost like he left breadcrumbs for us all, psychic, empath, intuitive. He's just leaving all of these little breadcrumbs for us to kind of follow and read and understand. It's just a great way to put him almost like we were behind the scenes when he was doing it, just allowing to us to release some fears from, you know, being, you know, upset because somebody passed, of course, but that's what he wants. That's what he wants. He wants us to be comforted by those psychic things that he left behind. So he breadcrumbed all of you. All of you. About what couldn't be stopped. All around the events that couldn't be stopped. It was too much work. Oh, Lord. Okay, so there was some stress-related health concerns here. I'm getting off the lungs, and there was some health concerns. I feel like even not just lungs, but I'm feeling like eating disorder, maybe something to do with eating. Even the habit, yeah, just eating, something about eating. And I feel like definitely, again, with the mental disorders, I'm definitely picking up on that, only again, because of the eyes. I'm that's being indicated here. And I'm aware that, you know, now, like right beforehand, he was really trying to support mental health, and that completely connects for me and it makes sense. He hadn't, are you shitting me right now? You got to be, stop it. I'm telling you what, this is I've been compelled to do this reading, and this is why. And he felt like there was too much work, and it was like, he felt like his life was completely out of balance, even though he felt like he had a calling. He still felt like there was no balance. He felt like very unhelped, very unhelpable. He didn't feel like it could be helped. Nothing could be helped. This is stress related, too much work. This is too much. It's great sadness with this 3 of Swords in upright position. In order for him to have deeply affected the stress related issue or the issues that were consuming him, especially with this, if there's that eating disorder, that definitely indicates to me that there was some sort of an emotional hindering. It's just like he was making you all happy. All the while he couldn't consume that. He wasn't able to. There was a lot of great sadness inside of him. And it was like, in order for him to get past that, he would have had to take a lot of time to heal. And it's almost like, he was like, where does that happen? How? It's all stress. It's all consuming. It's all powerful, too powerful. What's mukbang? Is that Asian or from China, Japan, mukbang? I thought I knew what that was, but I don't. Okay, yeah, somebody told me she had an eating disorder. Okay, that makes sense. They probably definitely connected on that then, for sure. And especially with the mental health stuff. I have to say that this, with the Emperor upright, I feel like I'm going to do two things here, because I feel like there might be two things here even. I feel like there was a father thing or a father situation with the Emperor that's always giving me the father vibes, or some sort of, very, very structured, very stable. I don't know if that was in his life or not in his life, but I'm just feeling like this could also be indicating that even though he had these things going on, and this is a huge part of his letting go, he was still a leader. He was still a leader. He was still like always like not even the puppet master, or like the coordinator of everything. It's almost like he would have done anything to make sure everybody was like in line or organized, or stable, and he was making everyone comfortable. But the father position, I don't know if that was actually put in his life or wasn't in his life, and maybe that's why he does that so well. Maybe that's something he overemphasizes, and that's something that, that's a part of his soul work. I'm not sure. I'm just throwing these things out here. Okay, that just pops out. All right. These are going to be the last couple cards here from Cooper. Last couple. What else we need to know here? What are the last things that we need to know here? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I just feel like he's talking to somebody, and I don't know who this is. It's probably a Pentacles or an Earth sign. So this definitely is looking like an Earth sign. It could be Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. Excuse me, I can't talk. Does anybody know if there's some sort of connection with that? And it could also be an air. There was like a soulmate connection. It was a stalemate. Like it was like not happening. There was a resistance. Something was stalling. This was a partnership. It was a relationship. It had a lot of trust. It had a lot of patience. And this could be something that was being indicated in the beginning, because it's being indicated once again. This person is very, very young. Okay. They're probably under 20 or just at 20. I have some news for this person. This person is going to get some news. That's so important that it came out in the cards, okay? Because these were the last things that he will say, or we will talk about through these tarot cards, okay? There was supposed to be a plan, but it was almost like just kind of like he knew, like even without talking, he knew it wasn't going to like kind of work out type situation, okay? And it's almost like he feels like that he felt like he was giving more to the situation, and it was almost like there was so many other things going on than you could really actually see. So there was like a ton of things going on, and it could have something to do with like violence or just like aggression, almost like a bully kind of situation. And when there's a reflection on it, it's like a bullying or like insistent on like kind of being rude. Okay, so whoever's an air sign or an earth sign. So it was, again, it was just there was a problem, but they were pretending there wasn't. There was a huge fucking problem, and they were pretending there wasn't. And it had to do with a partnership. It definitely had to do with this partnership. And this page of earth, this is being indicated. This page of earth, to me, this person is young. So young, like him. Yeah. They're going to get some good news. Okay. So the financial stuff, some good, dependable, successful things are happening for this person. And this is being left. These are the last cards that are being dealt here. And it's like wanting to, if he or she's wanting to do anything more challenging, it's headed their way. So they need to know that. Okay. And it's definitely a new arena. It's a new like area. So they want to expand further into their, whatever they're doing as far as like, I don't know, their business, whatever they do to really like expand themselves, maybe even study, school. It's something about go back to the studying, go back to the books. This is super important, super important. It's going to be dependable stuff here because this financials, the coins, they matter. They matter for this person. And it's okay that there was an unwillingness to make a decision. That's just where these things were laid out at the time. Okay. And that's the ending of this reading. I feel like we could go on. He probably, I mean, through tarot, I mean, you could go on forever as far as like speaking out to somebody or, you know, reaching out to somebody. And I think that if he could talk to every single person, he would. I'm going to get a couple cards here on if his passing was on purpose or if this was an accident. Health. I feel like it kind of was expressing the stress. It was expressing eating disorders. My intuition was hitting on those things and mental anxieties or disorders. I really feel like we're hitting something there, but I just don't anything specific yet